everything set up. So I think I've got Instagram going, hi guys, and Facebook going, hi. I'm a couple minutes late, just scrambling, getting all my ingredients and everything set. So I'm just gonna share this on Facebook. So today we're gonna be talking about healthy holiday drinks. So it looks like we're live. Say hi if you guys are on, if you're jumping on, or if you're watching this in the recording. Let me know that you are watching, that you want me to continue on with these Thursday lives. I love to know what you guys are liking, what you want me to talk about, if you like the recipes, if you like the little chats. So I'm just gonna take a minute and try to share this. So Instagram, if you're also on Facebook, the Facebook is, I'm just gonna mute this. Facebook is a little bit better because it's the wide angle, so you can see a little bit more, but I think Instagram you should still be able to see everything. So I'm going to share this. If you have anybody in your life, any of your Facebook friends that are dairy free, we're going to be talking about all dairy free, healthier drinks, refined sugar free. We use better sweeteners. Share this with them, share it on your wall if you know people that would enjoy this video. I also have a free ebook that I put together as well for you guys, and I'll link that in. So let me, I feel like I can't do two things at once. I can't talk and think, which could be a problem. Okay, Mama Recharged community. So I always share this to the Mama Recharged community as well, because with Facebook, posts only really get shown when there's so many people posting on Facebook. Okay, that's right. It doesn't always get shown. So you might notice that I post usually every day. We do this weekly Thursday live, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, but you might not be seeing it all. So you can, if you comment, say hi, you're more likely to see it. I think you can see every post if you don't want to miss them. But if you comment, say hi, or share it, then it's more likely to be showing up. Okay, so I think I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to share on there. So this is distracting me that I can see my face on here. You know what, I'm also gonna link our holiday drink guide, so just give me 1 minute. Grab your cup of coffee or tea. I'm probably gonna be on here at least a half an hour, maybe longer. I'm gonna chat with you a little bit first about why I'm dairy free, why a lot of people I find do better dairy free. Oh, hi Tanya, nice to see you on there. And I see Sheila. Hi Sheila. I can't really see it very well. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. The camera's a little bit further away, so let me know if you can hear all right. Okay, I'm gonna find that link for the free ebook, so I'll post that right now so that you guys, if you want, you can follow along. You just put your email in and then it'll go straight to your inbox. It should go there right away. I do feel like I'm yelling a little bit, which hopefully that helps. Okay, let me see if I can find the link. Where do I find that? Sorry guys. One second. Oh, there we go. Got it all hooked up with my mail service provider, so I'm trying to figure that out. I should have had this ready before. Okay, so I'm gonna post that link into Facebook. I don't think I can post it to Instagram right now. I will post it right after the video. It will be in my bio. I'll put that link right there. So I've got, I think there's 6 different drinks. I've been loving these drinks pretty much on a daily basis. So with the holiday season, you know, we've got the Christmas tree up, we've got the Hallmark Christmas movies. I've so gotten into those this year. Okay, so there's the link now on Facebook. You can see it there. So I find I am just in that stage of sort of indulgence. I want to sit on the couch. It gets dark early. I want to put on the Christmas tree, maybe put on a Christmas movie. And along with that, just naturally, maybe traditionally, I just want to sort of like indulge in something. I want to comfort myself. Maybe comfort myself isn't the right word, but I just want to indulge. So instead of making a whole bunch of dainties, a bunch of cookies and all that, I've been loving these hot chocolates, these candy cane smoothies. Maybe I'll list off I'll list off, I think I'm going to do 4 recipes. We'll see how things go from the ebook. So I'll list off what they are. So we've got hot drinks. I've been loving, so I've got turmeric hot chocolate. Lately I love a hot chocolate in the afternoon. So yesterday I had a peppermint hot chocolate. So I'll do sometimes just a normal hot chocolate, peppermint hot chocolate. I've got a turmeric hot chocolate, which that is really great for inflammation. I think a lot of you have heard about turmeric and the benefits of that. Peppermint is just so nice. It's energizing, I found. So even just a hot chocolate, especially the healthier version, if you are kind of in like an afternoon slump, maybe you didn't get enough sleep, maybe you're just a little bit tired, that's why I've been loving these hot chocolates. So that the chocolate in it, the cocoa powder, helps. It gives you a little bit of energy, a little bit of, is it serotonin, I think it produces. Just, you get some happy hormones from it. And then that peppermint too, adding that in there is just sort of energizing. The smell of it, I'm not sure if it's actually ingesting it or if it's more the smell of it, but it's just delicious. So I love anything peppermint chocolate. So you'll notice a lot of that in these recipes. Not all of them if you're not a chocolate peppermint fan. There's a few others that aren't. Okay, so hot drinks, there's turmeric hot chocolate, peppermint hot chocolate, peppermint almond steamer, candy cane for cold drinks, candy cane smoothie, which is so good. It's a protein shake. You can do it with or without the protein powder. I love this for post-workout or even just in the afternoon too as a snack, or in the evening, pretty much anytime. But candy cane smoothie, vegan eggnog, so I just call it a vegan nog. If you are dairy-free, egg-free, even if you're not egg-free, sometimes the thought of putting a raw egg in a drink or purchasing the eggnogs from the store where they're so packed with sugar and additives, I think you'll love this. So the vegan nog, I love sipping on that in the evening as well, you know, with a Christmas movie on. You can add some rum to it if you want, or just have it as is. We use a banana in that for sweetness, plus there's a little bit of honey or maple syrup. But if you are, I used to be so addicted to the grocery store eggnogs, and then when I went dairy free, I was addicted to the dairy free eggnogs. They have so much sugar. If you look on the ingredients, so much. So if you can replace that sugar with some natural sweetness from a banana, then that's so much better. You'll feel so much better. You won't be packing on the holiday pounds. Our last cold drink is chocolate peppermint smoothie. This is delicious as well. I tested it out yesterday because most of my smoothies that I make, I just dump things in. I don't measure the cocoa powder. So I actually wanted to make sure that the recipe I had in the ebook was the exact amounts. So, so the main things with these drinks, I don't feel guilty about having one of these drinks on a daily basis. Sometimes I'll have 2 because they are better quality, and I love to treat myself a little bit as well too. So a lot of you are sort of on this clean eating journey. Maybe you are already dairy free. Maybe you're thinking about it. You're wondering if it's not, if you don't feel good with it. So you might be trying to change your diet, but it's like, it's Christmas time. I don't want to change all the things that my normal go-tos. I still want to like enjoy my life. Then I think you'll enjoy these. So that's why I'm sharing these with you. You could still enjoy it. You can still, like for example, my husband brought home, oh, I thought that was my husband on there. Hi, Janelle. My husband brought home some of those mint candy cane Oreo cookies. And I don't eat those because I don't feel good on gluten. I don't feel good on all that sugar, mainly the gluten. So I avoid those completely. It's not even a thought for me because I have set in my mind 100% I'm not having any gluten, which that's for another Facebook Live. I'll talk about that, how that's really helpful if you're kind of wishy-washy, if it's like, oh, should I have a bite? Should I not? Then you are using up so much willpower on a daily basis, and it's so hard. But anyway, so we brought home those cookies for the kids. So we do treat the kids occasionally. They seem to do okay with gluten. But when I see that around the house, it's like, oh, I kind of want something sweet, something chocolatey. So that's when I will have one of these, like a hot peppermint hot chocolate or a chocolate mint smoothie. And that satisfies that sweet craving. Sometimes I find too in the afternoon that will replace a snack, like I'm satisfied with, because it does have, you'll notice it does have some fat from a coconut milk. So sometimes you don't need an afternoon snack with it. Okay, so you know what, before I get into the recipes, I'm just going to take a minute. I'm just going to talk about, you might be wondering why I'm dairy free, why I find a lot of people do well without dairy, where I get my calcium when I cut out dairy. Common questions. So I wrote down a couple of things. I'll share a few reasons before I get started, because these are all dairy free. That's a big thing for me. Eating clean plus gluten free, dairy free is sort of the mummer charged method, because there's so many moms do feel so much better when they cut out those things and when they introduce. So I call it the energy draining foods. These are the most common energy draining foods. And along with energy, it's not only that, there's acne, there's body aches, there's digestive stuff. So we cut out the energy draining foods and we pack in the high energy foods. So why dairy free? So I'll give you a couple reasons. The main reason why I went dairy free is just because I felt horrible on it. And you likely probably don't know that dairy is a culprit. And I never knew. It's really hard to pinpoint that dairy is a culprit or that one thing is a culprit when you have a food intolerance or food sensitivity. I'm trying to see if anybody's, oh, hey Janelle, nice to see you. Okay, so for me personally, dairy, I cut it out, and for a lot of people, it's because of the food sensitivity. I'll give you some other reasons too why I'm not loving dairy for most people, but just how it made me feel. So a lot of you might be thinking, if you haven't cut out dairy, you might, especially if you are not feeling great, you just feel tired, you feel drained, maybe you've got headaches, maybe you've got acne, maybe you've got other skin things. If you just aren't feeling 100% or looking 100%, or then it's worth it to dive into a couple of these things. So it could possibly be a sensitivity. And like I said, this is tricky because a food allergy, often you'll consume it and right away you'll have like hives or you'll have a reaction. With the sensitivity, it's generally delayed. So generally it's anywhere from 12 hours to 48 hours delay. So if you are consuming even a little bit of dairy on a daily basis, say even once a day you have cheese, or once a day you have some yogurt, your entire, you're just gonna always kind of be at that baseline level, just kind of feeling like crap, or the acne or whatever. So it is, you can't pinpoint that, okay, it's because of this, because it's just kind of an everyday thing. So that's why often it's called like a hidden food sensitivity, because often it's hidden until you cut it out. So my recommendation with this, cut it out for at least 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, cut it out 100%, and then you reintroduce. And you have to be strategic with this. We do this every January, actually twice a year in our Mummer Charge method. We do some testing with different foods to see if they are a problem for you, then reintroduce it and see. So that's the first reason. That's the main reason why I cut out dairy. Just looking to see. Okay, another reason is, actually, I'll take a step back. A lot of people talk about the whole calcium thing, and I need milk to be healthy. I need milk to have calcium, to get enough calcium. So I'll talk about that for a minute first. You don't need milk to get enough calcium. So somebody might say like, oh, I hate spinach, or I hate kale. When they say that, we don't say, well, how do you get your calcium, right? So this is just one. Dairy is just one source of calcium. There's so many different sources of calcium. So especially if you're eating a fairly clean, healthy diet, rich in vegetables and nuts and seeds and things like that, you'll be getting enough calcium. So just cutting out dairy, just one item, isn't going to cause you a calcium deficiency. So if you are cutting out calcium, other ways you can get calcium in is dark leafy greens are a great source. So like kale, spinach, bok choy. In our Mummer Charge membership, we have at least a few times a week, sometimes even daily, we get those ingredients in. Sardines, I know that's that's an awesome source of calcium, way better than even milk. Kale and spinach are a great source as well, possibly even better than milk. And studies are showing that it's likely not, milk probably isn't even absorbed into our bones very well. So in North America, we consume the highest milk than anybody else in the world, but we have the highest rates of osteoporosis. So dairy might be high in calcium, but it's not getting to the places that we need to. Another big issue, side note to this, is that if you're taking in a lot of calcium, even with some calcium supplements, but it's not getting to the right spots, this can actually be harmful for you if it's going to your arteries, hardening, calcification of the arteries. You want to make sure it's getting to the bone. So I won't go into big detail on this, but it doesn't seem to be that, or there's questions about this, the calcium from dairy, is it even getting to the right spots? So I'm kind of getting off track a little bit. Another thing that helps calcium to get to the right spots is taking vitamin D and vitamin K2. They all kind of work together. You've probably seen in my posts that I now take vitamin D in the winter plus vitamin K2, and then I get my calcium from like whole food sources like green leafy vegetables, broccoli, almonds. So those are a couple other high calcium foods, are broccoli, almonds. I think there's some other nuts and seeds, dark leafy green vegetables. Leafy greens are so good for everything if you can try to get those in at least a few times a week. Hi, Jalen. So today, for some reason, it's showing most of the people that are hopping on, so sometimes it doesn't show that. Hopefully everybody's doing good. We got a fresh snowfall today. It kind of looks pretty out there. Okay, so actually I was still talking about calcium. A couple other things before we get into the recipes. So I cut it out because intolerance and sensitivity. I recommend a lot of moms cut it out because of that. Even if they don't know, there's a delayed reaction. So I already mentioned that. It's also it's high estrogen. It has an estrogenic effect in our bodies. That seems to be a huge problem with a lot of people now, high estrogen. A couple of signs of that is acne. You know, if you have dairy and especially if you cut it out, reintroduce it, you notice acne, that can be a reason because that extra estrogen. If you got high, like PMS, a lot of PMS issues, you probably have imbalance of estrogen to progesterone. There's a lot of other issues. It's linked with breast cancer, having those ratios out of balance. It's also linked with colon cancer. I think is it colon cancer or prostate cancer in men? It is linked with that, so that estrogen imbalance. So milk comes from a female cow that has a lot of estrogen. You're consuming that, so that's another thing. If you want to watch for that. Dairy is highly processed. So it is heated, it's pasteurized, it's processed. So that actually kills the enzymes that our body needs to digest it. So naturally, raw milk, I don't mind raw milk. Like, you really can't get that anymore. If you lived on a farm, I remember chatting with a guy at Good Natural once when we were talking about dairy. He doesn't do well with dairy now. I need to slow down a bit. But he said when he was a kid, he used to drink milk like fresh like that day from the cow. So that dairy is a whole lot different than the dairy today. So I don't know if I'd want to drink an unpasteurized milk from one of the, that's been sitting on the shelf. I don't think so. But I also don't want to drink pasteurized milk because it is so processed. It's not really the same thing anymore. And also the fact that we've gone to fat-free, low-fat. People used to be afraid of the saturated fat in dairy. We're realizing that that's not as big of a problem now, but that affects the milk as well. So the milk that we're consuming on grocery store shelves now is not the same milk as our grandparents drank on the farm. So that's why a lot of us don't do well with that. Another point, milk, the milk is used to fatten up baby cows. So, and it does a really good job of that too. So that's just one little point I wanted to add in there. Dairy can cause digestive upset, so gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation. A large percentage of the population is lactose intolerant. I think in the world, it's like 70% of people are lactose intolerant in the world. It is higher with, is it Asian, especially Asian descent, don't do as well with dairy. There's a few other, I think European descent does a little bit better, but there is still a huge population that don't do well with lactose. On top of that, there's a lot of us have developed, and I won't go into detail with this, a lot of us have developed leaky gut, which kind of sounds gross, but it's actually just some issues in your gut intestinal wall. Proteins are leaking into the bloodstream, and you start to have that reaction, that intolerance. So that's on top of that lactose intolerance. It can cause, with a lot of people, excess mucus production. So after consuming dairy, you might notice sort of like stuffiness. Also, if you've got asthma, if you've got a postnasal drip, if kids have chronic earaches, often cutting out dairy can really help. It's also inflammatory. So the last one, and then we'll get into into making the drinks. It's also inflammatory for a lot of people. So if you've got headaches, migraines, skin issues, joint issues, there can be so much sort of like hidden inflammation going on as well. So with all that said, I didn't mean to go talking that much about it. I just wanted to let you guys know why I find it's important to, just gonna see if there's any comments, why it's important to go, why I personally find it important to go dairy free, and why a lot of the moms and the moms that have gone through my programs have seen huge changes going dairy free. So I wanted to give you some information behind that, the reasoning behind that. So we are gonna start, let's start with our vegan nog. So this I've been having for, let me bring the tray out. I've been loving this for probably about the last 3 years. I got this recipe initially from Joyous Health. She's a Canadian nutritionist. So let's see if you can see this all right. I'll move some stuff out of the way. So I tried to be all fancy and get some of my ingredients all set up already. So all of these recipes are really quick. Instead of grabbing a carton of the sugary eggnog with all the additives in it, this is only going to take you a couple minutes. My son loves this. My daughter, I don't know if she's really picky. I'm not sure she loves this recipe. So all of these, the hot chocolates, the nogs, the smoothies just take like 5 minutes at most. Probably when I'm yapping so much like this, it might take a couple more minutes, but also like a hot chocolate mix. Go for a recipe like this instead of that hot chocolate mix. You'll feel so much better, and it's only going to take you like another extra minute or two. Okay, so our vegan nog, and I posted hopefully it's all working okay. I posted the link on Facebook for the ebook to get all the recipes. It'll go straight to your inbox. If it doesn't go to your inbox, check your junk mail, because it should go within like 30 seconds. It should be right there, so you can follow along with that if you want. So our vegan nog contains, so this is 1 to 2 servings, 1 banana. It calls for a can of full-fat coconut milk. Usually I'll do a little bit less. You can try it out with a bit less, and if you want creamier. So it all depends on your preference of creaminess. So this is I'll show you which one I use. That's my coconut milk in there. This is my favorite one. It is just, on the ingredients, it is just coconut extract, 85%, and water. I like it mostly because it is such a nice consistency. The canned ones you can use too, and they're good. Try to get minimal additives. Sorry, you guys can't see me on Instagram. Minimal additives, but this one is so easy. It's also great for a coffee creamer too, because it just pours out nice. The canned ones will separate, and you kind of have to mix them a little bit. So banana, coconut milk, almond milk, or your milk of choice, cashew milk, regular milk. We've got maple syrup, just a little bit of maple syrup, and you can adjust this well if you want, or as well if you want to cut your sugar, you can do just a little bit of this, because the banana gives some sweetness. You can also, with most of these recipes, you can also sweeten them with dates, especially the ones that we're blending up. You can throw in a couple dates. You might have a little bit, depending on your blender, a little bit of date bits in there. I don't mind in some of the smoothies having that, but that's another option. So depending on how much sugar you want in there, you can increase or decrease. And then we've got our spices, which is ground cinnamon, ground nutmeg, ground cloves, and vanilla extract. Okay, so I will throw this together. The banana, you can do either you want to make sure it's ripe, that it's overripe, has a little bit of brown spots. That makes a difference. I will get a whole bunch of the overripe bananas, either let them grow ripe in my pantry, or I'll get them like that at a discount at the grocery store, and then I chop them and then I freeze them. So these are frozen banana chunks. This recipe, I'll just do this one. The smoothie ones, the frozen banana is really good. So we pop that, I think you can see good in both of those. Pop that in the blender. So this is our vegan nog, if you're just joining us. So, throw that over there. Banana, a can of full fat coconut milk. I prefer a little bit less, so start with less, and then if you want it creamier, you can add more. So I'm not going to measure this. I'm actually low on coconut milk, so we also add almond milk to it. So I'm going to conserve it for some of my other recipes. And then, so we're going to do 1.5 cups of almond milk. So, you know what? I wonder if I should actually measure. No, you know what? I'm just going to dump it in. So this is all I do at home anyways. When you're first making it, you might want to use the measurements. And then if I find it's too thick, then I add some more liquid. 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup. I am actually low on, I didn't really plan this out soon enough. I'm low on maple syrup. Actually, I'll do it. So you can do honey as well for this. You know what? I'm going to put honey in there. So yeah, these are kind of foolproof recipes. Where did I put my honey? I must have put it in the pantry. Okay, so yeah, most of these you can interchange. Honey, I like raw honey, raw local honey, or maple syrup or dates. So use your sweetener of choice. I'm gonna start with a little bit less sweetness, and then I'll add more if I need. So I'll do about that much. And also, if you're having it if you're doing it for like a Christmas Eve holiday drink, then you might want to add a little bit more sweetener, especially if you're making it for like company on a daily basis. If you just want to like have this in the evening while you watch a movie, you might want to watch that sugar content a little bit more. So next we are going to add in 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground cloves. I usually put in a little bit more because I love that flavor of cloves. And then 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, or you can do like a vanilla powder, vanilla bean paste. So I'm gonna blend this up. I'm gonna see if I need more liquid because I didn't measure my liquid. So it's just this easy, this simple. So it looks like a nice consistency. So check it out. I think I added a little bit extra cloves in here. Normally it's a little bit more whitish. And then normally I'll do a little bit extra coconut milk, but I'm running low right now. So that's your vegan nog. Really tasty. I will make it fancy. Actually, I'll try it first. Really good. Okay, if I can make that fancy and have it, I'll just sit it there. So that's one of them. That there, you guys can see that. Got some messages popping up. Okay, so vegan nog takes 5 minutes to make. What does it say here? You can let it sit overnight, and the flavors will be even more flavorful. It might thicken up a little bit if it sits overnight, so you can just thin it out with a little bit of milk or coconut milk. But yeah, that's a tasty one. Add rum to it as well if you want. So next, let's do the candy cane smoothie, and then maybe the peppermint hot chocolate. Okay, so we need our blender again. And I just use like a, just gonna give this a rinse, it's a fairly cheap blender. I would love to at some point get like a Vitamix or something. This is an Oster one that I use, and it seems to work really well. Like even I've done celery in my smoothies, cucumbers, spinach, and it seems to blend it fairly well. So let's go to the candy cane smoothie. So this is a nice little like afternoon treat or post-workout. Having that protein powder in there after workout is really good. Okay, so we will start with 1 cup of almond milk, unsweetened. So again, I'll just guess. You could do cashew milk, whatever milk of choice. You can even make your own almond milk. Okay, 1 banana. So for this, I'm gonna do frozen banana. Approximately 1 banana. Half a scoop of vanilla protein powder. This is what I'm using right now. I used to use Vega. This is similar. I got this at Costco. It's very similar to Vega. I also love Veggie Day. I think there's a Botanica one that's really good. There's a lot of good quality ones at health food stores too. But depending on what your need is, you can ask the girls at the health food store if it's for post-workout, if it's like a meal replacement, and they'll help you. So half a scoop of protein powder. This adds some sweetness too, especially if you've got this one's stevia. It has some stevia, I believe. Sweetness, that vanilla flavor as well. And then you want half a candy cane crushed into a fine powder. So this is kind of crushed up. I just kind of used a bag and then the end of my rolling pin and crushed it up. Coffee grinder probably would work as well. So it's not finely crushed up, but I don't mind having kind of some chunks of candy cane in there. 2 tablespoons of full-fat coconut milk or almond coffee creamer. I like just the pure coconut milk. 1 drop of peppermint extract. So I have that. So make sure you're using, I don't think all essential oils are pure and that you can't consume them. I know there's a couple, doTERRA and Young Living, I believe, are better quality. Or you can use just peppermint extract as well. You would use, in that case, you'd use a little bit more than a drop. But so I try to get, if you get 2 drops, like these are so powerful. If you get 2 drops, sometimes it's too pepperminty, so just try to get 1 drop in there. A drizzle of honey. Where's my honey? And then here again, if you're really watching your sugar, you can just leave out that honey. Honey's a better, it's got more vitamins and minerals and enzymes and all that in there, so it's a better sweetener option. So just a little bit of honey. But yeah, feel free to try it without that and see if you adjust it if you need more sweetness. And then just ice cubes, give it a blend. Okay, throw some ice cubes in there. And then I didn't really measure here too, so I'll just adjust if I need more liquid. I find the consistency is too thin, I'll add a little bit more frozen banana or ice cubes. Too thick, just add some more liquid. It's still not super thick. It's nice consistency, but I kind of liked it thicker, more for just the show. And then you can add in, there's some ice, didn't fully get blended up. Add in a little bit of candy cane on top if you want. A little bit of crunch. So you can't really see that too well from there, but this is one of my favorite smoothies, especially for like a nice little treat. Yep. You have to try that one. All right. Too bad I can't pass them around. Okay, so let's do our peppermint hot chocolate. So this is my favorite for the afternoon sometimes, you know, if you just need a little bit of energy. I used to drink coffee. I used to crave, well, used to would be like 2 months ago. I would have like 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day. I love that afternoon coffee. Lately, I am loving the hot chocolate. I've been kind of like craving a hot chocolate in the afternoon. So this is a healthier version. So I have done a video, I think I did it with my son before, of the Mama Recharge hot chocolate. This is a little bit quicker and it's a peppermint version as well. So I will get this warmed up. So you can either microwave this if you want it to be super quick, to have it done within like 2 minutes, or you can warm it up on the stove top. So peppermint hot chocolate. Let me know if you guys have got that, if anybody's tried downloading the ebook with all the recipes, and if you've received it. I just want to double check that it's working. So let me know if you've done that and if you've got it. Okay, so again, you know what? Also with this ebook, so many of the recipes have very similar ingredients. They're very different drinks, like different tasting. Like so far we've got the vegan nog, we've got the candy cane candy cane protein smoothie. This is the mint hot chocolate, but you really don't need a whole bunch of different ingredients. Like I decided 2 days ago to do this Instagram, Facebook Live, and I had all the ingredients in my house already. So even if you do have to buy a couple, you should be able to make pretty much every recipe in the book with those few ingredients. Okay, so 1 cup of non-dairy milk. So again, we do a lot of the non-dairy milk. If you don't want to have this, you can do whatever milk of choice or make your own almond milk. My son has trouble, can't see very well. Anna, I think it is. My son has trouble with bowel movements. We are working for a specialist. Would that help? Going dairy free, is that kind of what you're asking? That does seem to be, especially with kids, a lot of kids have issues with dairy, and that can really disrupt digestive constipation. Like it can really disrupt the digestive system. Sometimes kids will outgrow that. But yeah, that would be definitely worth a try. Talk with I like to be safe and say talk with your doctor, your specialist about this as well. But that definitely is worth a try. I'd cut it out 100% for a little while. I know it's harder with kids, but I think that's what you were asking. That's good you're seeing a specialist, but yeah, we have gone dairy free. Okay, so he's still got some issues. There could be some different gut issues going on. I also love a naturopath, like if you want to get kind of a whole team on your side, and do some research on your own as well. Maybe you've already kind of tried those things, but so we have gone dairy free. Yeah, there could be some different the easy things, and you probably have done this already, like getting in a lot more water and fiber. What else is coming to mind? Probiotics. So it could be an issue with gut bacteria balance as well. But yeah, those are the first things that come to mind. Okay, I got this on. So about a cup of non-dairy milk. Nice and hot. So, making all these drinks, I'm going through lots of milk this morning. That's next step. Good luck with that. I know that's so hard seeing your kids go through that. It's easier for us to make changes. I know it's harder for kids, so I feel your pain with that. Just keep trying different things. Yeah, work with your specialist, and so that's good that you've already tried out some different things. Okay, you know what? I've got this. I actually had that measured out already. So then we've got, what do we have here? 4.5 teaspoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. And then coconut milk as well. So yeah, I am finding that often the whole family, and we still have to make this step as well for ourselves, for the whole family to try out dairy-free. My kids have a little bit of dairy. We don't do milk. We don't do cow's milk, but they will have some cheese. So you guys can just use a whisk at this step. I've got one of these little things, which is really nice to have. Just like a little, what is it, mechanical automatic blender thing. Just a whisk works as well. So I'm going to do some coconut milk in here. You can do a hot chocolate or a mocha or a peppermint hot chocolate with just an almond milk. It makes a huge difference having that extra creaminess in there of the coconut milk. So I love that. If you don't have any though, then just go ahead and just do your hot chocolate without it. So we've got the cocoa powder, the milks, sweetener of choice. So you can use, right now I'm low on maple syrup and I love to use honey. So I'm gonna add some of that in there. In my other video for a hot chocolate, I did some dates to sweeten. So if you wanna reduce and have a little bit more of the natural sweetness from the dates. Hi, Angie. Then you can do that. You'd have to blend it though in a blender, and you might have some very fine bits. So my husband would be laughing right now because I tend to burn. I get distracted with everything else. This almost overflowed. So it's not like the best combination for me to do a Facebook Live and cook. Stuff overflows for me, or I burn everything. Okay, so I added a little bit of sweetness there. As you can see, I don't really measure. And then just a drop of peppermint. So if you just want a hot chocolate, skip this peppermint step. Can you guys see me? Yeah. Try to do just one drop, otherwise it's too powerful peppermint taste. Okay, so again, this took like 2 minutes and I'm talking and all that, so it's so quick. Instead of buying that powdered mix from the grocery store with all that sugar and all the other junk in it, just do the pure cocoa powder, better sweeteners. You can control the amount of sweeteners. You can make it dairy free. So let's put this in my fancy cup. I should clear out some space. I appreciate you guys watching. I know everybody's busy. Kind of wondering if it's best to do like quick videos, one at a time. Looks like all my drinks I'm not making quite enough. Maybe I should measure. So here is, and then I'll put in a little sprinkling. You know what? I'm just gonna add in a little bit more milks to make this look prettier. I think I have to get another one. So it should still have enough cocoa because I follow that stage of the recipe. So you've got your hot chocolate here. My kids love this as well. My kids prefer it without the peppermint. So I would do theirs and then I would just add in a drop of peppermint for myself if I wanted that. You can top it with marshmallows if you want. These are just the regular marshmallows, which is kind of like a little treat. You can get different ones at, I know the health food store, Good Natural, I know they have different marshmallows that use like a better sweetener. So I wish you can kind of see, I'll get some better pictures of it later maybe. So yeah, this is such a nice treat. on a cold afternoon or evening. Okay, so should we do one more? You know what, I can't see. Let's see if I can see what people are saying. I had everything for the peppermint. So Tanya says, I had everything for the peppermint shake, so just made it as I'm watching you. Wow, flavor explosion. Yeah, it is, eh? So if you find I'm not sure if you used like a essential oil, a drop of peppermint essential oil. If I do one drop, that's good. If I do more, then it's like way too much, and then I have to add some other ingredients. So hopefully that's good, like in a good way, flavor explosion. But yeah, that chocolate mint is so good and so like energizing too, I find. Okay, we'll do one more. I was going to talk a little bit. I had so much I wanted to talk about with the vegan nog. Like it's got the warming spices. I was going to talk all about that, but maybe if I do a separate post, I'll talk more about that. Maybe we'll do the mint chocolate smoothie. So there's a turmeric hot chocolate, which is, if you want to get in that, more of that turmeric, there's so many benefits to it. The number one benefit is the anti-inflammatory. I believe it's also antioxidant. Just check to make sure I'm not missing any comments. It's a good thing. Did I miss? Do I need glasses or what? I can't see very well. Oh yeah. Okay, I thought that was another comment on there. Okay, awesome. I'm glad you liked it. And thanks for the feedback. Turmeric hot chocolate, very similar to that. Add in some turmeric, a couple other things. Actually, I'll mention with the turmeric hot chocolate, any turmeric latte, turmeric golden milk, you want to add in, with this recipe, we add in a little bit of coconut oil and a pinch of black pepper. Those aren't necessarily for the flavor. It actually increases the I can't talk now. I'm going to slow down. Increases the absorption of the turmeric. So those are important if you actually want to get the benefits from that turmeric, to add black pepper and some coconut oil. So you'll find that in the recipe in the ebook. Again, if you're just joining on, the link is in the Facebook comments. I'll actually post it after this in my bio on Instagram as well. Okay, last one we will do is the mint chocolate smoothie. I'm gonna have a lot of drinking to do after this. Where's my blender? Here it is. Okay, give it a quick rinse from my last smoothie. So this one I think I had this one yesterday afternoon, and it's one of my favorites as well. So normally I just dump all the ingredients in. This time I actually followed it. So we've got our almond milk. Again, very similar ingredients, so you can get these ingredients, you can make so many different drinks. Should actually measure this one. Yeah, I'd love to know if you guys are enjoying these Thursday lives. It's kind of nice. I find it's kind of nice to have it every week the same time. If you guys are enjoying these, if there's a certain topic you want me to talk about, if there's certain types of recipes, because I'm not even real sure. I haven't decided on what I'm going to do next week, so just let me know. So one frozen banana. That is probably just a little bit under one full banana. 1 to 2 drops of peppermint. So here's my peppermint. And again, with this one, with any of them, you can do dates once we get to the sweetener part. I do that a lot, especially in my kids' smoothies, that extra iron and fiber that comes from the dates, and it adds that sweetness. So I try to just get 1 drop. And if you don't like peppermint with your chocolate, if you don't like that flavor, you can do these recipes, just skip that. I just find peppermint chocolate is such a festive, like holiday flavor. 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder. Let's see if I can find my cocoa powder. Oh, before I forget too, this is another hot chocolate that I've been loving lately. It's a little bit pricier. So this is Botanica's Reishi hot chocolate. And it's a hot chocolate mix. So if you are busy, you don't really think you want something quicker, this is a better hot chocolate mix. It's not quite as strong as flavorful as the generic hot chocolate mix. It's got reishi in it. It's a medicinal mushroom that's been used for years and years in ancient Chinese medicine. I'm not real sure, but it's really good for relaxation, for a healthy stress response, especially this time of year. We're all so busy and stressed. So I just wanted to point that out. This is another thing I sometimes add into my smoothies. So any of these recipes, that candy cane one, you can add in spinach if you want. You can add in this, which is Samara. This one's Samara Adult, or there's Samara Kids and Teens. It's sort of like a multivitamin in a powder form, but it comes from Whole Foods. I think that's sealed up. So I add that into a lot of my smoothies as well, especially for my kids, well, myself as well, but my kids need those extra vitamins. Okay, so what have we got here? Cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons. So instead of looking for my measuring spoon, I'm just gonna guess. Half a peppermint candy cane. Did I do this? No, mint chocolate. So this is kind of similar to the other one, just the chocolate version. So some candy cane. I'm gonna save a little bit for the top as well to make it all pretty. Some of these recipes you'll notice that there's an optional add coconut whip to the top. Hopefully I don't have cocoa on my face, cocoa powder. So some peppermint candy cane for extra texture and flavor, and a teaspoon of dark chocolate chips. I don't think I grabbed that yet. If you don't have dark chocolate chips, you can just use regular. So just a few chocolate chips. You know what, I'm not really following the recipe because you can blend it up first. If you want it chunkier, then you add these after. I'm just gonna add it in now. So this one you can make thicker. You know what, I'm gonna add a little bit more frozen banana because I want this one to be really nice and thick. This one is just like one big clump of banana. You can almost make these like an ice cream too, like make it so thick, and then you can add the toppings, some chocolate chips, some crushed candy cane. Oh yeah, I was saying, there's coconut whip too that you can buy at the store. You can make it yourself, or you can buy a coconut whip for your hot chocolate, especially if you're doing it for like a gathering. Make it really fancy. You can add that on top of your smoothies or on your hot chocolates. Okay, so we've got our dark chocolate chips, and then you can add in optional extra sweetness. I'm going to do a few dates in here because this one's already going to be kind of like a chunkier smoothie, which I kind of love. Maybe you love like a smoother smoothie because you'll have a little bit of chunks of the chocolate chips, the candy cane, and then if there's a little bit of date bits, then it's all right. So that's going to be my sweetness. So the banana, this one is all just like whole food sweetness, banana, and dates. So I think I've got everything in there. We'll blend it up, see if it needs any more liquid. Pretty good. It's not super thick. I'm just going to add a few ice cubes to get that nice thickness. How are we for time? So it's about an hour. Appreciate you guys staying on with me. Okay. Another second. Blend it up. this is going to be a nice, thick, there, that's a nice one. That goes right to the top, perfect. Okay, and then you can add on some, if I was making it fancy, I'd probably like chop up some of this, add little chocolate bits. I'll throw in a couple chocolate chips on top. And some candy cane. Can you guys see all right? Yeah. There, look at that. So you can have, and again with this, you can add some spinach in there if you want to make it like even more nourishing. So this is like a holiday treat. There, look at that. Oh, spilling a little bit. It's delicious, and you can like pass up all those holiday cookies when you have something like this to enjoy. So lighting's not great, but you can kind of see there. I need more fancy holiday. There we go. Fancy holiday straws. So if there's no more questions, I think that's about it. Go and grab your ebook. It'll get sent to your inbox of all the recipes, and comment back, take pictures if you guys make them, post it to the Mum or Charge page or Mum or Charge community. I love to see if you guys are enjoying them. And I think that's about all I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And this Thursday at 10 o'clock live is a new thing, so I'm kind of just checking to see what works best. This one, I kind of felt like I was a little bit all over the place, but I'll probably get better. Hopefully I'll get better at that as time goes on. So next week we'll probably I'll either answer questions or do sort of like a talk on something. If you have any suggestions, you can post it here or send me a private message, anything you want me to talk about, or if you have any sort of health issues, especially if it's like a common one that a lot of people have health issues with, I can keep your name anonymous, and I can dive a little bit more into that as well. So yeah, I welcome any questions you have. Just message me or post. So I hope you guys have a good day, and thanks for joining me. This has been fun. Bye guys.